Welcome to PTI, boys and girls. In today's episode, the NFL tackles Thursday night football. Baseball embarks on a highly anticipated season, and Kendrick Perkins joins us for 5 good minutes. But we begin today with Kevin Durant's long-awaited home debut with the Suns tonight. Durant was supposed to do this 3 weeks ago, but he slipped on the floor during warm-ups and he missed 10 games. This morning, our friend Brian Windhorst said that Durant, LeBron, and Steph Curry are all back on the floor because they smell weakness in the Western Conference and an opportunity to make it to the NBA Finals. Wilbon, as Durant returns, do you smell weakness in the West?
No, I don't. And I don't know if Wendy and I are just having a difference over semantics or something more fundamental. They smell opportunity. The West is deep. The West, the Dallas Mavericks, who made a big deal thinking they were going to move up with Kyrie Irving, they're in 11th. So the West is at least 10 teams deep, and the play-in teams are going to, they're fighting to get in because they think there's opportunity. Nobody's great. We're not talking about the 83 Sixers or the, 86 Celtics or the 96 Bulls. There's nobody like that, or like the Shaq and Kobe Lakers. But there's some really good teams out there, enough of them, Tony. And so, the Suns are one of those teams. The Suns could go out in the first round like almost everybody else in the Western Conference, or go to the finals. They're that good, and they got a lot of things to figure out, the Suns, starting with how do you deal with DeAndre Ayton and incorporating him into what you're doing, because this can't just be about Durant, Booker, and CP3. It cannot. But no, I don't smell weakness. I see opportunity, and I think it ought to be exciting as hell to watch.
You're going to be very angry at what I say, but I'm going to tell you what I tell you all the time. That the moment Kevin Durant walks onto the court tonight, the Phoenix Suns are the best team in the NBA. He is that good, and he is that good immediately. He's never had problems with teammates. He's never had problems with systems. Look, he's a miserable person most of the time, and he's chronically unhappy. But he's a great basketball player. You are invested in Ty Lue. I am not. You are invested in the guards at Sacramento. I am not. You love Nikola Jokic. He's okay. I'm invested in Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, and LeBron James, because they got multiple rings. When the bell rings, they're ready to go. And I'm mostly invested in Durant. And I would ask you, as I ask you all the time, how many times do you have to see it? He gets hurt, he parachutes into a team, and immediately the team is 20 times better. Look, he played 3 games with the Suns, Mike. They were 3-0. He averaged 26.7 points, and he shot 69% from the field. He didn't know his teammates. He didn't know the coaches. He didn't know the system, because he doesn't need time to integrate. He just needs the ball.
Tony, they need time to integrate him into what they're doing. I believe what you're saying could happen. I believe that if they can get through the first round, they are likely to then get through 2 more rounds. But when he steps on the court tonight, best team in the league, huh? No, come on.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Come on. I'm gonna call
you all know who I am.
Up late.
You all know who I am.
I'm gonna wake you up late so you can watch instead of Dreamland, which is what you're in right now. Let's move to the NFL's fixation on fixing Thursday Night Football.
So what they did not do is they did not say we're going to flex right now. That's the least of it, Mike. They're going to flex. They flex Sunday with NBC. They're flexing Monday with ESPN. And they're going to flex Thursday at some point because people want to see good games at the end of the year. What they did do was say you can play more than once on Thursday. You can play twice. I don't know how I feel about this. Not just twice, but because Thanksgiving Day doesn't count in that ratio, Dallas is going to play 3 times because they're the biggest draw in the NFL. I'm not sure this is fair. If everybody played once like they've been doing, that's okay. But if you start putting the better teams in there because people want to see them, that's hard on the bodies of the players to go from Sunday to Thursday. I think that it's an uneven schedule. I think it's unfair.
I don't know how unfair it is. You can play teams on back-to-back Thursdays, and it's not all that big a deal. What it is, John, to quote John Mara, is abusive. Because fans, I know in my house, we plan months ahead to pick out certain games to go to. Months. People buy tickets. They buy flights.
You're right.
They do all kinds of stuff to go see NFL games. And the league doesn't give a damn about them. because they care about the television numbers as opposed to the people in the stands. Not the 60,000 people or 70,000. They care about the TV numbers. And, Tony, they don't care about health and safety. They don't. They can say whatever they want to say. It is abusive in both those ways. And so they're going to do that. They're going to flex into Thursdays. Thursday nights were absolutely dreadful. It's a revenue stream, Tom.
That's right.
That's what it is. Every sport has to tap into a new revenue stream. The NFL does not, despite what it wants you to believe, have the international revenue stream bubbling with interest overseas. It doesn't. So Thursday night is a primary way to get more money, as Luka. Was it Luka who did this? Who did that? Okay, that's what it is.
Yeah, no, you're right. We all start in the stream. We're all carried along by the river of dreams, baby. Let's get back into the NBA with our great friend from NBA Today, Mr. Kendrick Perkins. This is a very important question. I want you to consider the ramifications of your answer. Wilbon and I have a sincere disagreement. I believe that at the moment Kevin Durant walks onto the court to play, he makes the Phoenix Suns the best team in the NBA. And Wilbon foolishly disagrees with this for reasons I can't even comprehend. What do you think?
Tony, caught a headache. I got dizzy. I thought it was because I didn't take my blood pressure medicine before I left home. But actually, it was because you had the audacity. You just raised my blood pressure up. You have the audacity to say that the Phoenix Suns, with Kevin Durant, when he comes back tonight, they're going to be the best team in the league. I don't even know if they're the best team in the Western Conference. I'm not about to sit up here and disrespect the Boston Celtics or the Milwaukee Bucks. Guess what? If the Phoenix Suns happen to start the playoffs today, they will see the Los Angeles Clippers. And the way that Kawhi Leonard is playing right now, along with Russell Westbrook, I don't know if they win that series. I haven't seen enough out of the Phoenix Suns when I'm talking about the others outside of Devin Booker. And that includes CP3, DeAndre Ayton, Terrence Ross, and those guys to have trust that they can actually be the best team in the league. So I believe I answered this right. I believe I'm still part of the PTI family because I agree with Wilbon on this one, Tom.
There we go. There we go.
You're dead to me. You're dead to me. I'm done. You're dead to me.
Kendrick, I knew that the calmer, smarter mind would prevail. And so we move on. We move on to tonight's opponent for the Phoenix Suns, the Minnesota Timberwolves. Perk, now that Anthony Edwards is a bona fide stud and they got Karl Anthony Towns back and Rudy Gobert looks sort of kind of like Rudy Gobert used to look, like, do we take the Minnesota Timberwolves seriously going into this postseason? How seriously do you take them?
Well, I think we have no choice but to take them serious. And I think it started with the leadership of Anthony Edwards. When D'Angelo Russell got traded and Karl Anthony Towns went out, Anthony Edwards didn't talk about his offense. He talked about his commitment and how he watched film on himself defensively. And when I started to watch him and the kid McDaniels, right now they're the best defensive backcourt in the NBA. And so I started watching those guys in the way that they communicated, in the way that they started to have culture. And now Karl Anthony Towns is happy to be back there on the floor. I'm looking at this Timberwolves team and I'm like, do somebody really want to catch them first round with the energy that they have, with a backup center and Naz Reid, the way that he's been playing this entire season? I'm like, they're very scary. They're young, but they got a lot of old souls on that team.
Timberwolves, very much worth watching. Perk, I'm going to move it to Chicago tonight for the Lakers. The Lakers and Bulls. LeBron gets a chance to go at Pat Bev, his former teammate. Perk, we know that in Chicago, if Michael Jordan had been challenged personally and called out like Pat Bev or by any player in the league when he played, that guy would be vapor. Does LeBron have that similar makeup? Will LeBron care about this? Will he want to kill Pat Bev tonight, or not a big deal to him?
Well, we know how you feel about Pat Bev, the way that he came back. He came back against the Bulls. We didn't know when LeBron James was going to come back. All of a sudden, he went from questionable to available. Why? It was because of the beef that they have, and this real beef there. He should want to get his lick back. But let me say this. We give a lot of props to a lot of organizations like the Lakers for what they did at the trade deadline and teams that built up their roster like the Milwaukee Bucks, adding Jay Crowder and those little pieces. What Patrick Beverley has done for the Chicago Bulls since he walked into that locker room, they're 10-6. I've seen a different version out of Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan. But Anthony Davis and LeBron James better get their lick back tonight, but it's not going to be easy. I actually had the Bulls winning that game tonight, to be honest with you.
Wow.
This is too much for me to bear. He not only says I'm wrong about Kevin Durant, but now he likes the Bulls. He likes the Bulls. All right, we get you out of here on this. Reportedly, the Hall of Fame class has Dwayne Wade, Dirk Nowitzki, Tony Parker, Pau Gasol, and Greg Popovich. You were in the league with all of these guys. Which of them were you most impressed by?
You know what? It's Dwayne Wade, because what he did for us embracing that Heat culture and winning championships, right? We're talking about a guy that doesn't have one single regular season MVP. We're talking about a guy, in my eyes, that is a top 5 greatest shooting guard to ever play the game of basketball. And what he did was he showed us that winning solves everything and doing it at a high level. What Dwayne Wade did for us while he was in the Heat jersey and the Heat uniform, down there being selfless, sacrificing, not worrying about having hidden agendas for his individual goals, it's Dwayne Wade, man. He matched up with the best of them. And right now, when I think about shooting guards, I think about MJ, I think about Kobe, and then I think about Dwayne Wade, to be honest with you.
There you go.
Thank you so much, Perk, as always. Thank you.
Much appreciated, Perk.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.